Welcome back to another video, guys. So in this video, I'd like to put a little bit of a spotlight on Harsetti. So for those of you who don't know Harsetti's passive ability, what it does is it basically slows everybody down in the fight to her speed, well 90% of her speed. So for example, if she was 100 speed, everybody in the lobby would automatically become 90 speed, and then they'd speed RNG with each other, because you do get about 0 to 5% combat readiness at the beginning of the match. So Harsetti is really good in the current meta, purely because it is a very speed dominant meta with characters like RnL, Rinak, Abe. Those are all characters that really just want to take the first turn, characters that like to go fast. So a character like Harsetti will slow everything down. She's really well played with other characters that like to take advantage of everything being zero speed, such as Zio. With Zio's passive, he actually goes before the Harsetti. So what that does is Zio can go first, he can then push up a Ludwig, and then the Ludwig can then just kill everything. And running a base speed Ludwig means that you can put all of the stats you normally put into speed into his attack, crit damage, and just get insane stats. Another comp that likes to use Harsetti a lot is the Harsetti tank comp. We use Harsetti as a tank and then mitigate the damage with Estelle and Ruel. Now that comp is also really good because you're bringing it into two very fast characters, being Rinak and RnL, and slowing them down to base speed more or less takes away a lot of their damage, since they do scale a bit of their damage off their speed. While RnL, she gets bonus stats based on her speed, so slowing them all the way down to 90% of Harsetti speed not only removes a bit of that damage, but lets you put a lot more gear score into your bulk. So it's a lot easier to live the onslaught of attacks from those kind of characters. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and let's get into that first attack now. So for this first attack, we're going to be hitting Bryce Tier 2. So for team 1, we're just scouting with the standard team we used before, just a full tank down Harsetti, a no ER Ruel on just Giga Tank, Cure All Magic Wand, which is like very nice crystal, and a Estelle on Destro. Nothing too crazy. She doesn't need too much damage because it is a long fight, on a plus 30 with a little friend. Then for team 2, we're fighting Lady Arbiter Vildred Freerun, so we're going to be using a Reflect Yoha team. The idea being that Yoha, with her Reflect EE, reflects a large portion of the damage she takes back to the hitter, and that mixed with Crown of Glory makes it so she doesn't take as much damage, because the Arbiter Vildred and the Freerun are both AoE characters, so this will overall reduce the amount of damage she takes. But while reflecting said damage, she's on prod set, just a lot of HP, a little bit of bulk. A Perfume Rulus is just around 190 speed. Again, just a lot of bulk. She's kind of like a failsafe, where when her Yoha gets below half, she'll heal the entire team and just kind of bring a little bit more life back into the Yoha just in case. And a base speed, or close to base speed, just full tank Kate. The idea being that once the Arbiter Vildred kills himself off the reflect damage, he doesn't revive. And on top of that, the Kate does like a little bit of damage here and there with her S3. It's not a lot because we don't have any attack investment, but it's still a bit. But yeah, both these teams should be fairly safe. They're fairly slow, but should be fairly safe. So we can just get right into it. So like what I used this team before, one of the first things we need to figure out is how tanky this Rinak is, because that's going to basically help us kind of figure out what order we want to kill everything in. So because this Rinak isn't tanky at all, we're probably going to end up killing it first. Oh, lucky dual attack. Because this Notos doesn't have any barrier, we can actually just throw this into the Notos. We are going to kill the Notos last, but just throwing this into the Notos now will just injure him a bit. So when he does transform, it just means he'll have way less HP. Yeah, nice big chunk of damage there. The other nice thing about this Harsetti is that she does kind of randomize their turn order, since they all get put to the same CR. So then with CR RNG, they take different turns. So because the Notos went before the RnL didn't get the extra attack on her S2 because she can't defense break since we're in the Notos realm. But it's a little bit of just quality of life. It doesn't really change the course of the fight, but it just makes it a little bit easier. So this fight is going to take a while. So what I'll do is from this point on, I'll just speed it up just so the video's not too long. But yeah, I'll catch you guys towards the end of this fight. Oh yeah, it's pretty clean fight, pretty simple to be honest. It's very like nice to scout with. It's fairly safe. I haven't run into a situation where they've geared to combat that scout, but yeah. So this fight again is pretty straightforward. More or less, the enemy is just gonna kill themselves hitting us. So the free run's gonna S3. Because it hits everything, our Crown of Glory is gonna reduce the total damage we take. Like as you can see, the free run lost basically half her HP there. So did the lady. Yeah, the lady also lost a large portion of her HP there. Well, the lady basically killed herself actually, just trying to mitigate the damage the other two took. And because our Yola got below half, our Biblis was able to proc. And again, it's kind of like a failsafe where she can just protect our Yola from fully dying. Since we're not on Holy Sec, we have to make sure our Yola doesn't get too low. But yeah, overall pretty clean, pretty simple. It's a very safe team to scout with as well into that comp. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next attack now. So for this next attack, we're going to be getting Keon. So for team 1, we're just going to be using a team we very commonly use. It's a Fervor Destro Ludwig Cleave. So we just have a Fervor Destro Ludwig on Free Run RD, a closest Space Speed Harsetti on book, a 0 on Destro Pen on book as well. Then for team 2, we're going to be using a, I guess, Tori comp with Lady. So we have a Sinji in the front to stop the RB from reviving, and she just maxed the R with a Passion. We also have a Lady that's more or less Space Speed. She's on broadside just to give our Tori some more buffs. On Proof of Valor because the Arbiter Vildred is on Photogenic. And then we have a Tori. So Tori has a passive where she can't take a lot more than 51% of HP as damage, and she can never actually lose her buffs because all her buffs are given to her as undispellables. So we have her on a triple set, Immunity, Torrent, Pen, on Photogenic itself. The idea being that Tori's gonna S3, then S1 kill the RB, and because she's Photogenic, she'll ignore the Estelle Met, and then she'll just slowly work around the other two. Yeah, both teams should be fairly safe, so we can just go straight into it. Now, this Notos is on Holy Sac, so like always, we're gonna all in on him with our Zio plus Ludwig. Pretty easy, pretty clean. It's one of my favorite post-scout teams. Once you have the info, it's really safe to use. Here we can just soul burn into the Arbiter Vildred. Now, because we have so much ER on her Sinji, she's not going to get tagged, which is pretty nice. We can just S3 here actually to cleanse all the debuffs. And then our Sinji on her turn can S3 to give herself some more immortality. She'll be good for another 2 turns now, which should be more than enough for our Tori to make work of the other units. So here we have to hit the Estelle. Oh, so we did get Cascade here. So we can probably just finish off the Estelle first, actually. So we should more or less just kill the lady anyway. one of the nice things about Sinful Angelica is that when she does have mortality, her S1 does actually defense break, which is pretty nice. So what we can do is we can actually just soul burn this just to guarantee the defense break and just straight up kill it. But yeah, it's pretty clean team, pretty safe, to be honest, just because of Tori's passive. But I will see you guys in the final attack. So for our last attack, we're going to be hitting Imu. So for team 1, we're just going to be using a team we just previously used, which was a tank down our city on Proof of Valor, a close to base speed Ruel on just full tank on GIC, and then a Estelle with quite a bit of HP, quite a bit of bulk, and like a little bit of crit damage on with the low friend. Then for team 2, we're going to try to cleave this. So we're going to use our fastest mid on Proof of Friendship, a Hecate in the front that will get double pushed by the Proof of Friendship. She's also going to be on her own artifact. We actually just recently got this to 21, a little bit more damage. And then we're going to be running a 220 Shrivelger, so we slow him down a bit, just to give him way more damage on Simple Unity. With the Vildred, I assume our mid should outspeed ideally. That's our only loose con for team 2, and that should be fairly safe. But yeah, we can go straight into it. So, like the previous fight, one of the main things we need to figure out first is the Rinak's HP, or I assume just how squishy it is. Because the squishier the Rinak, the more likely we are to kill it right away. Here, we can also just hit the Rinak as well. So again, we did get a little lucky on the RNG, of like the speed RNG. Although it doesn't matter for this fight, it's just nice because the RnL doesn't get the extra attack on our Ruel. So our Ruel just stays a little bit more healthier. So here we can just throw this S3 into the Rinak, since we are going to kill the Rinak first. Probably going to kill the Rinak first, then kill the RnL, and then kill the Notos. So here we can actually hit the RnL, because the Rinak will die to the extra damage that we do. Oh, he's on to Crescent. Okay, I did not see that actually. This should kill the Rinak. So here we're probably gonna do one S2. The S2 does increase the health by quite a bit. I'd like to think we have enough HP on our... we could probably just S2 to start. So we're gonna hit the Notos because we don't want the RnL to crescent into us, ideally. Although her hitting into the Estelle is fine. So now with Ruel, we can S3 the Harsetti. And what this will do is this will heal both the Harsetti and ourselves to basically full HP, which will make it so our Harsetti will be able to tank the oncoming S2 from the Notos pretty comfortably. Again, we're just going to keep hitting the Notos with the Harsetti because we don't want the RnL to counter us if we don't need to. Here we can just soul burn into the RnL just to get our S3 back quicker afterwards. Oh, we just got lucky in it there. Eventually you will hit on the RnL. I know she has a lot of evasion, but you are going to hit eventually since it's not 100. So the second you do hit, you're basically going to almost, or you're most likely going to kill her anyway. We're just going to S1 normally. Do get a lucky defense here. We're going to save the soul burns for our Estelle. so she can just keep soul burning her S3. So yeah, pretty clean, pretty simple. So again, for our team 2, we probably outspeed. Oh, yeah, we do, but quite a bit actually. The Ludwig is actually the first one on his team to go. So here we can just S2. And then we can S3 our Hecate. This will give her the greater attack buff. Oh, I don't know if we're on the right EE actually. Ooh. That might be a slight problem, but I imagine it's still fine. This will proc our Ludwig, or sorry, our Vildred, and they'll kick the Ludwig out of stealth so that he doesn't take, well, he'll take full damage from this now, he won't reduce the damage. But this should kill anyway, so we should be fine. But yeah, pretty clean, pretty simple. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions at all regarding E7, you can either comment down below or reach out to me on Discord via Zyme. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.